Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, the shooter of Dallas rapper MO3 has been arrested. And wait until y'all hear the details behind this man. Dallas rapper MO3 was gunned down on a highway on November 11th after getting out of his vehicle and being chased down by a man seen on surveillance video with what looks like a possible AI pistol or short-barreled rifle. Now, this whole incident took place broad day and resulted in one innocent bystander being shot, who at the time was just sitting in his car during traffic, but luckily it was non-life-threatening. 22-year-old Keywan Dontrell White was taken into federal custody, charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm and also for MO3'S murder. This whole incident started when MO3 was at a female companion's house and had the suspicion he was being watched. He was allegedly followed from the home to a gas station before fleeing onto a highway in an attempt to lose the other vehicle he now knew was after him. At some point, MO3 crashed his vehicle, and the shooter got out of his vehicle to approach MO3 while MO3 exited his and started running. Multiple shots were fired, one of which struck MO3 in the back of the head. During the investigation, a witness made contact with police, giving them the name of the 22-year-old shooter. An arrest warrant was issued Tuesday, December 8th, and by 9:30 p.m. the next day, he was taken into custody. Dallas court records show White has had 10 previous arrests, 6 of which were felony charges, and he also has felony charges out of Titus County, Texas, one of which was being a felon in possession of a weapon. But the craziest charge is back in August, he was arrested for shooting his transgender girlfriend. His girlfriend's mother making post after post about what he did on Facebook, and Facebook showing him with his girlfriend, I'm assuming before the incident, which means he was out on bond during the shooting of Dallas rapper MO3. His transgender girlfriend did survive the shooting. Now, the fact that he's in federal custody, he isn't going home anytime soon. A felon in possession of a firearm or ammunition carries up to 10 years, but if the feds pursue the Armed Career Criminal Act, based on his prior felony charges, which only requires 3 convictions on violent or drug-related offenses, he's facing a minimum mandatory 15 years in prison, and this isn't even including his murder charge, which I believe will remain a state case. And from the sounds of how the murder was committed, how MO3 was tracked down, basically hunted and assassinated on a highway, I'm sure in Texas, he'll be facing the death penalty. Now, this case is wild as hell. I seen the news that dude was arrested. I decided to dig a little deeper into it, start looking into the court records, looking through social media, because the news fails to do so usually. Like, they reported he was 21 years old. He was 21 at the time of the shooting. He turned 22 November 26. This kid was born in 1998. Why he's with the transgender girlfriend, I'm not sure. If that's how he's rocking, that's how he's rocking, that's him. This is 2020, no hate for nobody, right? But he shoots her for whatever reason. He shoots her, she's alive, she's good. He's out on bond for shooting the female, already has a list of felony charges. I don't know why he was even out. They're already talking about giving him a bond in this case, which I'm sure he's not going to be able to afford. And he basically just threw his entire life away. At this time, there hasn't been any affiliations linked to anyone else, meaning the rappers MO3 was beefing with at this time, there's been no links to them. So no one else is tied into the case, but I'm sure eventually something's gonna come from this. And with the shooter, as far as how he's rocking already at 21, I'm sure he's gonna love prison. I don't know how Texas prison is. I don't know how the feds are. I did my time in Florida, but if he's into that type of fun stuff, I'm sure he'll find his way in prison. And sadly, a lot of young dudes get locked up and go in there and stop messing around with dudes, and they get out and get into the same thing, and they don't mind going back to prison because they've already adapted to that lifestyle. They can already get whatever desires they want. They can lash out violently, and in prison, that is approved. They can mess with other dudes, and in some prisons, that is approved. It's just a young kid that threw his whole life away to murder a rapper, and for whatever cause it was. Now, do I think he's going to beat this case? We don't know the details of the murder. We don't know the whole arrest affidavit. I don't believe that's available in Texas for the public to view, which is why I like my Florida stories, because I can actually look into the court records. I'll get comments like, yo, you sound like a Fed. First off, Feds aren't involved in 90% of the cases I cover. But second off, I sound this way because I'm actually reading court records, public records. This is all public information, but a lot of people aren't smart enough to look this type of shit up. I don't like doing videos based on rumors. I like actually presenting the facts of the case. I don't know if he's gonna beat this case. If the only tie that they have to him in the murder is a witness naming him as a suspect, I don't know how much that'll hold in court. But the possession of a firearm offense, that federal charge, feds usually don't come in unless they got a good reason to. I'm not sure if that federal charge came from MO3'S shooting or if that came from the shooting with the transgender girlfriend. Because either way, they're gonna need hard evidence, and the feds usually don't come in unless they have that hard evidence. We don't know if the gun has been recovered from MO3'S shooting. We don't know those details. But I don't feel like he's gonna beat the federal charge. And if he doesn't beat that, and they're able to use his priors against him, he was caught felon in possession in Titus County. He had marijuana on him at the time. You take a gun, you take drugs, that's a charge in itself. He could be fucked just off of that alone. We might not see him on the streets for another 15 years just because of that, not even including the murder case. But I'll keep y'all updated on this one. This is one hell of a case. It's gonna take a whole lot of time, and I'm sure within the next few days, a ton of details are gonna come out. But hey, it's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. Till next time.